play Fremantle. This one at Amy Stadium, $2.50 Port, $1.50 Fremantle, 133390 if you want to get on either of those sides. Pickers, you've got Port. Port have a 7-3 record versus Fremantle at Amy Stadium.
Yeah, you're right. And look, the last couple of weeks haven't been as bad as you think. Yeah, I was about to say that stat, but you've read it out. That's right. Stop looking at my notes. Good to see Pittard back in. He's a really nice young player. Sort of lived him as a junior, but I love what he's doing off half-back. He was injured last week. Their form obviously has been pretty ordinary, but the first half against Sydney, they were okay. 2.5 quarters a week before against Hawthorn, they were pretty good. They need to string 4 quarters together pretty quickly, I would have thought. I liked Westhoff's year. I know he's a player that's a little bit maligned, but I reckon he's been pretty good, Justin Westhoff, and he wasn't bad again last week. Troy Chaplin would be winning their BNF from the games I've seen this year. He's in pretty good form. And I like Pearce as well. He's such an up-and-down player, Daniel Pearce, but he's so important, and I thought he was okay last week. So some positive signs. The other positive is the games are getting to the kids. Andrew Moore, Ben Jacobs debuted, I think, last week. Phillips, Hartlett's obviously a very good player, and Pittard back in this week. So they've got some kids coming through. It's not all doom and gloom for the Power. I think they'll be much better this week.
Fremantle, Parker, have lost their last 2. They have a couple of changes here. As you can see, Van Berlo, McPhee and Anthony and Pitt all out. So Jack Anthony didn't last long. Look at Mazungu. Hasn't played a game since round 2 in the NAB. Was very impressive in the NAB, I might add. Comes straight into the side. They've got so few players available.
Mature age, Brian, isn't it? I mean, he looked like to me that he could play early, and injuries probably stopped him along the way. Look, they'd be struggling. I was looking for improvement from 2010. I'd have to say I haven't seen anything yet that suggests they're going to be better in 2011. And a couple of their real keys there just aren't firing. Hill and Johnson, to me, are critical in the roles that they play, have been not firing a shot at all in the last month or so. And as we pointed out before we got to this point on injuries, they are probably one of the most injured team. When you look at players like McPhee, Hayden, Morabito's out for the year, Silvani, Barlow's yet to come back, and Subin. I mean, they have struggled, and I think Jack Anthony got in for 1 week and was removed after a week. He was fairly ordinary. So they've lost their last 2, and they struggle at Amy. You say there's not much hanging on this game. I'm telling you, I hope a good crowd turns up, but there is a hell of a lot for Fremantle, and I think where Port Adelaide are, they need to produce a good one. So it's a must.
I'm sensing you think they're under a little bit of pressure?
Yeah, I do, yeah, and they're being hammered, there's no doubt they're being hammered at home with West Coast now motoring along pretty well. Freo are on the end of it all over there.
Who wins it, Jono?
I think Freo will win. Watch them run this week. They did not run at all last week. There was hardly any movement on their behalf. So watch them go, watch them take a few risks, and I think they'll get a win.
Parker?
Yeah, I just on need. Fremantle has to win.
Pickers?
No, I'm going to go for Port Adelaide and an upset. I've actually turned around and I've become a bit of a Fremantle fan, but I just think the amount of injuries they've got means that Port at home, if they can string together a bit more than they have, let's say 4 quarters this week, I think they can win.
All right, that's Port Adelaide and Fremantle.
Now,